Look at that. It's so early that I'm not even turning my mic on. Silly me. I know it's early. I have shit to do in game. And I was gonna just do it. And ignore you fine folks. But I figured, you know what? If you want to join me, you join me. And if you can't join me, you can't join me. And it's okay either way. We're going to bounce around a little bit, though. And probably do a little bit of raid before going into my Conquest to get some of Conquest done. And I have that intro song stuck in my head. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-da. Dee-dee-dee-dee, ba-da. Dee-dee-dee-da-ba-da. Da-da-da-ba. Da-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-ba-ba-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-ba. Ugh, gross. There we go. I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. Hopefully. What is it? Charged? Okay. Got another Eras battle coming up today. 2, actually, because Thursday, Friday. Might even get my Oppo to 6 stars, which is quite honestly kind of nuts to have it at 6 this early in a cycle. Hey, Daniel. Good morning. Why are you up this early? I figured, I was like, oh, if anybody joins me this morning, it's going to be people I've never seen before because I'm not normally up at 6:30. Well, I am up, just not normally playing at 6:30. For the raid, you do not need 5 people for a team. You can bring in less people. And sometimes it's advantageous to bring in less people because what happens is every time you take a turn, these stupid modifiers react, right? Especially charged. So for for this specific one, a lot of people bring in just 4. Some people just bring in 3. Morning, Moonborn. Fuck you. Fuck you too. I love you, buddy. I do. Yeah, I mean, I'm up at 5:30, 5:45 every morning. I woke up early and I forced myself to wait till my alarm before I actually get out of bed today. But I'm not usually up and watching Twitch at this hour. Or YouTube. What are you? You're on YouTube. Can't tell. I have a lot to do today, actually. I actually need to work on the sequel to our Dr. Seuss book. Got Conquest. I've got my raid, which we're doing now. I have my TB waves. Benjamin, a lot of my raid runs, I do use the decoy. But when I run the decoy, even on the first wave, it dies pretty much right away. So fuck. That's a problem. Oh, and we have quick. That's a double problem. That's stupid. Now you're gonna get back into this. We might have to restart this whole run because of this stupid Droidica. Oh no, we have two dispels. So I'd rather get the protection up shards, the health or whatever it is that Padme gives, because that's what fuels Padawan Obi-Wan. Or is it? Waiting so I can use it so I can show you. But we have a charged wave, which is annoying again. Right, so when she uses her basic, it gives them all, what is it? Health up, something up. Healing over time. And when they have healing over time, they do a shitload more damage. This is really annoying because it's, oh, ooh, nice. Never mind. It looks like I'll do okay. And since this is the last wave, it doesn't actually matter. Is that at like the higher level? I honestly don't pay attention to titles at all. I don't really care about them, other than the fact that I have the Jar Jar stuff. Right, so that is the only thing I care about. I have not finalized this raid. I did not bring Quad Mate to R9. I do about 8.6 million on a good run. Swugga gameplay. Is that Enigma? I think it is, right? Yeah, I don't do 12 million points. My guild is lazy in the raid, so I didn't see the reason to go past. Man, my nose is all over the place today. To go past the 8.6. And I was thinking about bringing Quad Mate to R9, but then I had this whole wave war with Fat Phil, and I needed to focus on territory battle stuff. Christian, good morning. Congratulations. That's awesome, man. You're by Cap Amazing. I've never been to Japan. I've been Korea. I went 2 years ago for my brother's wedding. Man, now I gotta go onto Twitch, and I gotta deal with a bot. Stupid fucking bots. Open up mod tools. 2-room park and slap. The fuck. Okay. Where's my Oppo? I think I had said it before, but mine is 58 of 65 right now, which is higher than I would normally have him at. I'm kind of liking not having to put mods on somebody until I have the mods that I feel like are good. So I have been waiting on modding him. Oh, shit. We could try this one. I know he's a crit damage guy, but I'm okay with offense. Hey, Hugsy, good morning. Peace out, man, dude. Enjoy your enjoy the honeymoon, and not on Twitch. Everything off Twitch. Oh, fuck, I'm not getting what I want from this. Okay. Ba-da-da-da-da. We're jumping all over the place. This is how I play the game when I'm not on stream. Where I just bounce the fuck around. Let's actually do my shitty raid. And then we'll go into Conquest, because then I have to mod refresh or whatever it's called. But no, not Grandmaster Yoda. Ayla, Papa Plo, Key, yes, Qui-Gon. Okay, let's do that. I know, the event returns and we're gonna have a bugged event again, which is super cool. So we're gonna get the event twice again. You know what? I'm surprised that CX2 shards are in this raid cycle. I didn't think they would be in until after he came out. I kind of wanted it to be Oppo only. Because he is strong enough where if I get him like on the earlier side, I think he will significantly, you know, help that Lord Vader team on his own. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You can get more. Let's see. Kyle, how many refreshes do you do? Because I only do 3 a day. I'm actually having a really good Conquest. Like, my Conquest is going so solidly. I'm super happy about it. But I only do my refreshes a day. I don't buy Conquest energy. So I'm not at the same level that you're at when it comes to my crate. But I am making my way through very solidly. My last Conquest was, like, completely awful. So I'm happy that this one is going a little better. You do 6. Okay, so then that makes sense. Yeah, I don't do 6. I don't care that much about Datacrons. Oh, fuck. I did the wrong move. Shit. That's gonna fuck me. Is Jocasta gonna hit as hard? Probably not. I saw somebody on Reddit saying... no, it was on the Three Scoundrels Discord, actually. They were saying that Jocasta's gonna hit like a wet noodle. Just to piss us off. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that that's probably semi-accurate unless you have Mace Windu. I don't think the team is gonna do super well without Mace. It even says in the event, it says these characters have had their stats modified and they are not indicative of what is in game. Which is fucking stupid. Oh, Hod's in the house. Let's see. 2 cowboys are lost in the desert. 1 cowboy sees a tree that's draped in bacon. A bacon tree were saved. He says he runs to the tree and is shot up with bullets. It wasn't a bacon tree. It was a ambush. Oh, Hod, man. Dropping it with the best. Are you asking about Asajj being the next Conquest unit because we found that out, or are you asking about it because that's what you want? Because I don't remember seeing that. And now I'm curious. Did I miss something last night? I don't think so. Are you just speculating? Do I get turns? Can I have turns? Did he? What? Hold on. Hold the phone. Homemade pesto. Very proud of myself on this batch. No. Did he mention it? I'm looking at this and it seems like he just said some stuff and other people were like, Asajj confirmed. I don't ever see him saying the word Asajj. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I looked up the word Asajj in general chat here, and Darth Embo. Look, I'll show you guys. Well, actually, you can't see that side of my screen. It says Darth Embo says Asajj confirmed. Thanks, Meathead. And then if you click on that, it's just Meathead saying what he had for lunch, and other people saying Asajj confirmed. I don't know if I'm convinced by that. I'll be honest. I mean, I like the Night Sisters. I like Asajj. It would be cool. But I think it would be kind of dumb. I don't know if you can rely on that, man, because I'm going to tell you right now, I talk to Meathead every once in a while. Meathead reaches out to me. I reach out to Meathead. Meathead is very cagey about talking about the game in DMs. Like, even if it's something you know he's allowed to say, he will straight up clam up. So I would take that with a grain of very, very, very fine grain of salt. Like a super big grain of salt. Oh my god. Alright, well, I got more points from this team than I normally would, so I'm happy, I guess. My thing is with Asajj, like, they made a point, and I found this really interesting. They made a point to say that Conquest units wouldn't necessarily follow the eras. And so far, the first unit in Conquest did follow an era. So having Asajj, who I guess technically would be out of era, but still same time period, it just seems kind of dumb. I don't know, but I would take anything said by Meathead in a DM as a grain of salt, because he is very good at not revealing things. And I would be very surprised if he would give something like that away. Meathead is straightforward, but he's also just good at not giving information. Like, there will be times he asks me, he'll ask me stuff, and I'll ask him stuff back that's related to me giving him an answer, and he'll be like, thank you for your feedback, and stop responding. And I'll be like, bitch, you messaged me first. You slid into my DMs. So I would just take it with a grain of salt. Now, with the new show and everything in the series, maybe. Maybe it is. I would take anything said by Meathead with a grain of salt. He does like to screw with people. Kitty, one, I appreciate you joining us. And two, yeah, look, it's a game. I want to play the game. You know, I enjoy the game. I think a lot of people do forget. Not only is CG a business, but they're also a subsidiary corporation of a major corporation who is paying a shit ton of money to Disney for a license. Like, if I were in their position, I'd be wanting to make money too. You know, like, we just have to, obviously there's a give and take, and I'm very, very pertinent about keeping that in mind when I come up with ideas or concepts or topics. You know, sometimes there are things in these stores that are ridiculously priced. Let's see, 145 times 80, right? So if we were to do 145 times 80, 11,000. I mean, I guess not the worst deal in the world if you need all of them. Are we in the same shard? There is another guy named Egnards who I don't think is doing it to impersonate me, because there was a confusion at some point with somebody thinking it was me and it wasn't me, and he was confused and he was like, what? Who are you talking about? I've had this name forever. I've been using the name for like 20 years at this point. I don't know if you recognize any of these names, then you know, maybe we are in the same shard. Okay, let's check on TB. Actually, before I do that, I need to send out a Discord message with TB reminders. TB deployment. Notify true. So we need to tell everybody they got to do their stuff. Ooh, man. Raid Omicron, I think almost definitely. I think almost definitely the Raid Omicron is going to be 10. I think they set that standard last time, and I think that that's what we can expect, yes, because it is limited. And we saw with the PvP change to Omicrons that I think that they're kind of going in the direction of understanding the usefulness of different Omicrons. Yeah, man, there's one or two people who use an Egnard's type of name. And at one point I got confused by it too when somebody said Darth Loquitur was playing against Egnard's. And I was like, oh, cool, he's playing against me. How did I not know that? And it's because it wasn't me. Yeah, not only is Disney hiking all of their fees, EA no longer has a blanket, you know, license with them. Not a non-compete. I can't think of the exclusivity license with them. You know, so it's going to be expensive. But they've been doing... CG's actually been making things less expensive overall. And it's really a smart move for them, I think, because microtransactions, man, I'm not even going to get to do to my Conquest because I'm talking business now. But 10 years ago, microtransactions were very much a whale-only thing, right? Nobody wanted to do microtransactions. So only the very, very, very upper echelon of players were spending a very, very, very high amount of money to play. 10 years later, we have a new generation of players, and these are players that grew up in a world where they've always had microtransactions in everything they do. It's just the norm. And every year, that's true of more and more people, right? So they have gotten to a point where they said, let's, instead of relying on our business being this percentage of players, let's reduce the prices and get more people involved, right? And hopefully make more money. And I think they're trying to find that sweet spot of lowering the cost and increasing the number of people who are spending to increase things overall, so that no single whale becomes like the, oh shit, if he quits, we're screwed. And we've seen that a lot with price reductions. This has been my TED Talk for the day. Yeah, microtransactions don't bother me too much. There are times when it gets egregious in games. You know, it's no secret that I do spend in the game. I don't spend, you know, I've been playing for over 9 years. So as somebody who's been playing for over 9 years, I've dropped I've dropped like $1,100, but if you really think about that, that's like $10 a month. And I used to play massive multiplayer games. I grew up on Star Wars Galaxies, and I was paying $15 a month 20 years ago. I was playing WoW, and I was paying $15 a month. I was playing Star Wars The Old Republic $15 a month before it went free to play. So paying $10 a month in cost is like literally nothing for me. Benjamin, yes. So here's, oh my God, I'm never going to get anything done today. To get a new marquee on day one used to cost $330, roughly, right? $330. Oh, let's not even talk about the game. So it used to cost about $330 to get a marquee on day one. But now they've changed to this system, right, where you can still spend $330 on day one, which is what guys like Arnold do, and they put it on their tax returns, right, and it's a tax deduction because he makes all his money from content creation. Or you can do the 1 week path, and the 1 week path costs about $150, right? So that's slashing in the price in half right there. But now with the era battles too, they're kind of saying, look, you can have them in 1 day for $300. You can have them in 1 week for $150. Or if you're really smart about it, you can get him in like 2 to 4 weeks for about like $75 to $100. Right? And so more and more people are saying, well, even with their free crystals, they're doing it. But more and more people are saying, hey, yeah, I want to do this, not all the time, but for my favorite characters. I know people on my Discord server who are like, I've never whaled before, but I need Mace Windu. I've never whaled before, but I need the Gungans, right? And we're seeing a ton more of that. Now, are they making more money overall revenue-wise? I have no idea, and there's a problem with that. I just find it so funny that we're not even playing the game. This is just a business conversation now. The problem with knowing their revenue is that a lot of those revenue charts that we see online for mobile gaming, we keep seeing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes being reduced. But the problem with those revenue charts is that they're almost entirely based on the Apple charts and the Android charts. And we've seen over the last year and a half that Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and CG, they've been trying to get away from Android and Apple by having their own proprietary web store and by having the PC client and their own back-end system for that. So we're going to constantly see those graphs go lower because even though EA reports all of their revenue, they don't typically report any one specific mobile game as being, this is how much this one made or this is how much that one made. So it's a lot harder for people to say, oh, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, their revenue's reducing or it's increasing or it's doing this, because the sources that we're getting them from are becoming less and less part of the equation. And at the same time, Apple and Android both take a 30% cut right off the top, right? So even if CG was making 20% less revenue, they're still making more revenue overall, right? Which is kind of crazy to think about. Even if they're making less, they're making more because their costs have decreased considerably by trying to bring as many people over from the Android and Apple ecosystem as they possibly can. When I buy, I don't buy on my Apple as much anymore. Right, because I want the Kessel rewards. I want the discount that's on the PC. So we're seeing that happen to a lot of people. Hey Link, how's it going, man? As a company, they need to create money as long as the MT goes back into the game. I don't hate MTX. I don't hate microtransactions. Again, I hate when it's like blatant. If any of you ever played Home, their other game that failed, when you went into Home, there was almost nothing to do, but the prices on things were like 3 times the price of what they are here. You would get like enough gold to level one thing for like $20, and it was kind of egregious. If you're smart here, you can get a lot of value for very little money. I think maybe it was you, Kitty, you were mentioning possibly buying the episode pass in the future. Episode pass has a great value. I'm a poor educator, so I don't buy it every month. I'm free on that this month. I need a sugar daddy to, buy me the pass every month. But I buy it every like 2 to 3 months because the value is there. With that said, happy to continue talking business, but I do need to get my Conquest done. So let's switch on back over. Sector 4. I'm doing okay. I'm sorry to hear if something, things aren't going super well, but for me, I'm on spring break, so I'm at home this week, and it's been nice. You definitely get burnt out being in the school constantly, so it has been really, really nice being able to relax a little bit more. Remnants. I'm loving it. Yeah. I know, Kitty. I apologize for the ads, but that's how I make my $10 a month. Somebody on Reddit told me that my opinion doesn't matter because I make money playing the game. It's not a lot. I think Twitch sends me like $50 every 3 months. It was 100% a great idea, a very smart move for them, Hugsy, from a business perspective for them to do something like that. And unfortunately, no, not unfortunately. It has just been a smart idea. Swagger Daddy, yeah. Listen, Bones has a Swagger Daddy. He's got Aussie mic. I need an Aussie mic. Kitty, I was just saying that like something like the episode pass is a really high value in this game, and while I don't buy it every month for revenue reasons, for my own cost reasons, I do buy it like every 3 months. Who said something? So here's the thing about $240 a year for the episode pass. When we talk about resources in a game, you get a shit ton of resources. And again, I'm 37, almost 38. I grew up in the era of MMOs. I played all of the major ones at release. Okay, I played Star Wars Galaxies. I played EverQuest 2. I played EverQuest, but not at release. I played the Warhammer one. I played Star Wars The Old Republic. I played Final Fantasy 11. I played Final Fantasy 14. I've played all of the major pay-for MMOs. I was walking to GameStop at 14 to buy a $15 time card, right? So like I was spending so much money on these, like it doesn't bother me. Oh man, I do that all the time when I take a day off and then I find I'm just like sitting on my ass playing games like this. And I go, damn, what did I do with my time? I just think as long as people pay their bills and their bills are paid and they're happy, I don't give a shit what they spend money on, That's just how it is. Spend your money how you see fit. I'm somebody who does not spend a lot of money. I have a hard time buying things for myself. I'm really, really bad at buying things for myself. If I see like a $20 thing that I totally can't afford, it'll take me 2 weeks to convince myself to buy that thing. So, being able to buy a purchase every once in a while for me, I try not to let it be a thing. That's the other thing, Kitty. A lot of people bring up, my God, why are we even doing Conquest today? We just be like, this is business with Egnards. The other thing is, a conversation point that comes up a lot is, oh, that's a $50 thing. Why don't you just buy a AAA game? I don't have time for AAA games. I don't play AAA games most of the time. Most of the time, AAA games don't even interest me anymore. I don't find most of them to be very good anymore. Oh, are you talking about that thing online? The Omicrons? So when people say something like that, I'm like, I work in the morning. I teach in school, and then I go to the dojo and I teach karate, and then I come home and I want to hang out with my wife, who's not a gamer. So my only time to play AAA games is Sunday mornings. But Sunday mornings I do my brunch streams, and I love my brunch streams. Like, those are so much fun to me. So, like, I'm not getting... Where did my mouse go? Oh, there it is. You know, I'm not getting anything out of a AAA game that I wouldn't be getting out of here. This is where I get my enjoyment. The only opposite to that, Hugsy, is that when I do buy a game, I am not somebody that replays games. I play games once and I'm done with them. I do sell them right away, right? So if I buy a $70 game, and I'll usually buy one in the summer when I have off during the days, I'll play it over a week and then I'll sell it. So I'll spend my $70 and then I'll sell it for $50. Boomerang that doesn't work, a stick. Oh my god, dude. I'm the same way. When I, like, for my wife, like, if we want to go out for dinner, if she wants to go out for dinner, if she wants something for her birthday, I make sure to get it. I don't care what it costs. But when it comes to me, I will not buy it. My wife literally had to buy me a new pair of jeans 2 weeks ago because my last pair of jeans had holes all over them. And she was like, why haven't you bought yourself new jeans? And I'm like, well, because jeans are expensive and I don't want to buy myself new jeans. I just have a lot of trouble spending money on myself. I'm not good at doing it. I never got into the Elder Scrolls games, but the only games, like, there are certain games that I won't sell from properties that I know I'll replay. Mega Man games, big fan of Mega Man. You can see him on my arm there. I will never sell a Mega Man game because I'll always come back to a Mega Man game. But for the most part, I don't want to play a game again. Dude, it's the same thing. If I go to the grocery store, I will look at the prices of things and I'll be like, do I want this thing that's slightly healthier, but it costs $1 more? Do I deserve that health? But I need 5 of these and they're $4 each. I don't really want to spend $4 each on this. Ugh, I might be too slow for this battle. But yeah, I mean, I still have my copy of Mighty Number 9 too. Yes, but that's also because I got it. I was part of their original Kickstarter, and I think I got a digital copy, so I can't sell it. When it comes to fast traveling games, yes, the way that I see it is more options in game is never worse, because you have the option of doing it or not, right? And fast travel is a good example of that. If you don't want to fast travel in Fallout, you don't have to. If you want to walk around the map like an asshole, you're welcome to do it, and that's completely fine. But my ass doesn't have the time for that. I'm gonna fast travel. Oh, Blackhammer, fuck you, man. It's the same thing with simming in this game, right? When we talk about simming certain things, and some people are like, why do you want there to be less things to do? And I go, well, I don't want there to be less things to do. I just don't want to be bored by the things that are not as interesting to me, and the things that I've already completed or the things that I've already beaten. What? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. And you, if I put something on Sim, right? You don't have to. But of course you're going to, because you don't want to do that content either. I have a PlayStation 5. It's mostly a Netflix box. Again, I literally, I will buy games. I'll buy maybe 2 games a year, honestly. Well, I'm glad you could join us, Dancing for Rain. Yeah, we normally do Sundays, but I'm up. Darklink, man, I hope your day gets better, honestly. I do. Yeah, this battle's not going anywhere. I'm thinking we're gonna get a Profundity Lifter this year. You know, I wanted it to be a Conquest unit, but I think like with P1, they'll make more money selling us a not a Conquest unit. I do need more Night Sister wins. Actually, let's do this. Who do I need? Night Trooper and Enoch, right? Night Trooper and Enoch. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try that out. We're gonna get. I'm so certain that we're getting a lifter fairly soon for Profundity, and it's gonna be mean, just like the P1 was mean. And I'm okay with it. I'm there for it. Man, guys, I'm digging chat today. Sometimes on Sundays everybody's quiet, and I've liked so far today. We've had a really good conversation about microtransactions. So I'm proud of you guys. They make Akbar broken. They probably will. That's what they've done with everything else. No, they will make the kit so specific that it'll only be usable with Profundity. Man, Episode Pass is such a solid value. If I didn't buy it last month, I would have bought it this month. It is a good value. Which path do I want to? Ooh, I don't really need to do that path. This is probably the easier way to do this. It depends on where you are in the game, Hugsy. No, I'm at a point now where I'm kind of thinking in the same direction, where I would love to do some like vanity projects, but I also need to save for raid prep. I mean, listen, everybody plays the game for their own fun, right? I don't think Lord Vader as first to GL is a smart goal for people, unless that's just you doing it for fun. But I've always been a big proponent of Vader being a really solid GL, and I've been shit on for it on Reddit before. You know, I was a big fan of my Lord Vader. I'm super pumped for these clones. I can't afford doing them early, but we're going to get them as fast as I possibly can. Did that not go up? Captain Enoch and Night Trooper should be in my squad. Oh, fuck, I used Death Trooper. Fuck, guys, why didn't you tell me? Shit. I used the wrong fucking trooper. Where the hell is he? I don't roast people. I try not to. People have asked me to roast their rosters before, and you know, I don't know what to say, because I just think, like, if you're having fun in the game, then why does it matter? Do what you want to do, you know? There are definitely times where I've seen rosters that have like 11 million and they have like 3 GL, and I go like, how do you, like, you could sneeze and hit a GL at this point. This is an interesting. As a longtime player, don't you feel that CG doesn't care anymore about Star Wars Galaxy Hero? They know they are protected behind Star Wars IP, so they don't bother anymore to fix bugs. I strongly disagree with that statement. I am somebody that can be very positive on CG and very negative on CG, and I can be very bipolar about that and switch at the drop of a hat. There are times that I have been like, fuck them, I'm not spending another dollar until certain things are fixed. And there are times where I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm super happy with what they're doing. I think overall right now, CG has been moving the game in a very positive direction, and they have been listening to feedback. I think that the new Eras system, you know, Eras overall, it was a way for them to be so much more communicative with their community, whereas they used to be very, very cagey and very much like, hey, you're not gonna know anything until you know it. But I just think that some people have a very unrealistic expectation of bug fixes and what it takes to fix bugs. Let's take, for example, the GAC scoring bug. Now, why does the GAC scoring bug exist? I have no idea. What did they break to make the GAC scoring bug happen? I have no idea. We know how to work around it, right? As a community, we know it has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with like calling in certain reinforcements and with GLs and their transformations. But that's the superficial reason for the bug. We don't know how that bug is embedded in the code and where that bug is embedded in the code and how something in the code can screw up other things. That's like, yesterday I saw a comment on the update post and they were like, fixed this, fixed this, fixed this. Actually, I want to find it. I want to find it because it kind of, you know, annoyed me a little bit how much people don't understand things. So let's see. We're going to go through Reddit. We're going to try and find the update post. Nightfall, update. Update 416. Okay, we're here. Oh, so they wrote in not fixing Apple's unique ability effects from level 7. And someone wrote, I guess also add Grand Arena scoring issue to not fixing, right? I think that the scoring bug is probably a very complicated bug to fix. Whereas some of the time, some of the bugs that do get fixed are far more, you know, basic or easy, or they don't have as many things affecting it for those things to get fixed. And I think that that's just something that a lot of people take for granted, and they don't necessarily understand in the way that they think that they understand it. Who has accuracy down other than Scout? Cad Bane is on his basic, right? Inflict accuracy down on his basic. 7th sister, 8th brother. Oh, I do still need to get some Inquisitor kills. But anyway, as of right now, I currently am, I'd say about 80% positive on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and the direction the game is going in. Whereas there were times last year where I was like 50% positive on them. If Arnold didn't say anything about LV, would CG bring these clones to the game? You know, Arnold saying something about LV years ago, that was, what, 3 years ago? And the clones are coming now. And they're coming at a thematically reasonable time. So, no, I think we were getting the clones at this time no matter what. You know what, Ravage Kitty, I've actually always joked, not always joke, but I joke often that my Reddit posts are the XKCD of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, because there is basically a Reddit post of me for pretty much every topic on this game. Well, here's the thing. We don't know what they screwed up to change the scoring. You know, we have no idea what was changed, and that could be something that they just can't change back. Some people have theorized that them screwing with the scoring is indicative of them making changes to PvP overall, and something slipped into the release that isn't supposed to be in the release that, you know, is supposed to be there in, you know, 6 months from now, or whatever it is. Now, how true is that? I have no idea. Well, with Scorch coming to a very definitive team, I think it's very unlikely that you're going to see the rest of the Delta Squad. You know, Scorch is being put in a very specific Lord Vader team. It's unlikely that they're going to touch that Lord Vader team anytime soon afterwards. So I would strongly say don't hold your breath for a while. With you know, honestly, yeah, because here's the thing. I think CG does listen to the vibe, and I do think that players listen to the vibe. But I also think that players without the content creators are still going to notice things. They just might not have fancy names like Lord Failure. And I think they were going to see, no matter what, that Lord Vader was underperforming in certain areas. I happen to like him. I happen to like what he does for the game. I think he is the second most important Conquest unit for a player to have. I still have to do that. Yeah, I'm skipping that. Night Sisters, Remnants, critical chance down. Okay. Let's throw Night Sisters in here then. Oh man, arguing about math with people on Reddit. I think when it comes to I think that when it comes to kits and game design, the more kits there are in the game, the more complex things get. And I think a lot of people don't understand is that they do have to limit things in certain ways. So, you know, a big example is Jedi Knight Luke being a rebel. If Jedi Knight Luke had the rebel tag, he would have a vastly different kit, because now CG would have to account for his balance in a Jedi team as well as in a rebel team. So that's why we see a lot of like hyper specific notation in kits now. It's because as the game gets more complicated, that's just what they need to do in order to hold the integrity of the game. Oh my goodness. This is why we use our Prime subs. We send all our Prime subs this way. We give the Prime subs to Egnards so that he can buy beer and we don't have to spend money. Well, Ben, I mean, your wish is kind of... I mean, it's about a month to shipments, it's about another month to farming, but now era battles are giving you free shards earlier than that, right? So that when they do become farmable, you can get them up and running faster. So that's already a change that they're kind of making. Can my Night Sisters do this? I think probably. Hopefully. I just think that there's a lot of people that don't understand that concept when they like talk about kits, and I do joke about, and I call it the Ayn Rand novel of CG kits, right? Is that their kits are so complex that it's longer than Atlas Shrugged. I joke about it, but I do understand that if there weren't all of these exclusions and inclusions and different things going on in the kits, it would be a very different game and there would be a lot more broken. Generally, if there's an exclusion in a kit, it's literally because they've tested it and said, whoa, we can't have this working with this team because it'll really screw things up. Hugsy, my stance on era battles, I did the video on it on YouTube, right? I did the Reddit post on it. I tried to talk to Meathead about it, but he shut me right down. I think era battles are a super positive thing for this game. A super positive thing. But I think they could have handled the communication better. And the discourse on era battles has a lot to do with the communication not being effective. If things were communicated in a positive way, if things were communicated in a clear way, we would not have the discourse that we have right now. Now, I knew I was only going to be able to do tier 1 and 2. I'm happy with where I got on the era battles, but I sympathize with the players who had a different expectation based on 9 years of expectation when it comes to, you know, different events. So I understand where those players are coming from in their feelings. He doesn't even have his leadership ability. See, there you go. I think that they are testing characters, but, you know, things are going to slide through. Always. There are definitely some things where you go like, wait, why wasn't that specific thing tested? But I do think it's kind of silly. The community kind of assumes they do no testing. I do think it is kind of silly to be under the impression that there's like no testing at all. Who do we want to use? We need Darth Bane surviving, right? So let's do Sith. There's a lot of people that think that they don't do any testing. Well, Scribe, I saw his video, I think, where he did it at a very low level on his one account, right? So he was really trying to test the mold. I don't love you guys enough to do that. I also don't have a low account to do that on, even if I wanted to love you guys. Hey, Nana. Good morning. Yeah, what the hell? What if I was playing The Force Awakens today? The Force Unleashed, not The Force Awakens. Oh, it's absolutely. And I did the math, and then somebody responded telling me the drop rate of Omicrons, but they told me the drop of rate of Omicrons like completely wrong. And I found that funny because I am the one who found the drop rates of Omicrons through very extensive testing. We're just gonna kill a bitch. Dead. Dead. I did my TM waves yesterday. I know what you're talking about. I got a perfect phase 3 yesterday. Even the Wookiee mission. I was pumped about that. The drop rate on Omicrons is somewhere around 1 in 200. We don't know the exact, but it's somewhere around 1 in 200. It could be 1 in 220, could be 1 in 230, but we know it is somewhere around 1 in 200. Someone said it was 1 in 400, and I was like, no, that's not accurate at all. But Tatooine is a planet where you can throw in like just Watt, and Watt with a good tank will win. Any GL will win because they just don't get the dots anymore. He got 19. Is 19 perfect? Oh shit, are we that close? Let's see. No, will 19 mean 29? Because if you got 19, then I basically won. I don't know if Omegas or Omicrons are rarer because I've never tracked the Omega drop rate. So I don't have that information, unfortunately. Out of GL already, my master only have 5. Okay, that's fair. But also remember, I look at so many rosters, dude, that like I don't even fucking, I don't know. 10 battles with Moroccan Shin. Okay, let's do that. Nena, I looked at 7 rosters last week. My guild leader messaged, he called me the day after my roster review with him. And I was like, dude, you're asking me for specifics, and I have seen so many rosters. That's just something you have to remember. What do we want to do? Jedi Knight. We want Jedi Knight, Evasion down is Baby Cal. Okay. It's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, is that there's a limited number of RNG states, so when you get to odds that higher, it's either same or higher than you think or happening or more likely, literally impossible. So Sivir, you know, yes, but we can only track based on very specific things, you know, and we've done about, I think I have like 60 or 70,000 data points on it, you know, so we can be pretty reasonable on what we can figure out what the expectation is. Kitty, are you on our Discord? Because I have an area on our Discord when I do roster reviews for people. I have a line, like, I significantly shortened my line last week when we got through all of the reviews, but I get through to all of them. And I just ask people a couple of questions in a little survey, and that helps me to figure out what kinds of things to recommend to people. Oh, yeah. 8 of 8 on that, I would say is functionally impossible. Yeah, man, right? Okay, so that's what we were talking about, right? Like, is you're not going to see Balin for at least another 3 months, and at that point, he's not as useful. So make sure to prioritize the other things. The Morgan team itself, the GM team, is just a solid team on its own. Oh, fuck. You know what I just realized? I've been going through all of these battles, and I don't have Shin. Oh, fuck. This is going to significantly change my timeline. This is why you shouldn't do Conquest this early in the morning while talking about business with people. Because I'm not even paying attention. Okay, that's alright. That's fine. Really, all that matters is that I get to bonus nodes as quickly as possible. Doesn't matter how quickly you finish Conquest, it matters how quickly you get to a bonus node. That is what we're going to have to remember. That 0 is hurting me so bad right there. Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's do Jedi Cal. Revan and Baby Cal. Yes, it is 7:35 over here, so it's not technically too early. Calm down. Oh, because, yeah, so 12 hours. No, I'm talking to Nena, man. I've been up early. I've been up since 5:45. Cut me some fucking slack. What is this, the fucking Fat Phil show? I'm not a dummy most of the time. Need to get up for my night quiz. You going to pub trivia tonight? Oh, I can't do that, I guess. I don't know how many waves he got yesterday. Ali says 19, but that doesn't sound right. He would not do that poorly, so I think she meant 29. Which would be the same that I got. If he got a perfect day 3. Oh no, fuck that. Gross. I don't want to talk science with people. Oh, hey Scribbles. How's it going? No, it's still too early for brunch, man. It's only 7:30. What time is it for you? It's like 2 p.m. I don't have any luck. I've been completely fucking up my Conquest. Yeah, Kitty, I do those on Sundays. On Sunday, Easter I will be on, because we are doing Easter on Saturday with my family. 12:30. Oh, you're actually earlier than I thought. I don't know. Welsh time doesn't make sense to me. There is American time, and then there is the correct time, which is just East Coast. Oh, come on, you piece of shit. I hate this game sometimes. Da-da-da-da-da. Man, you missed a great conversation about microtransactions. It was something else. It was a good one. I was proud of you guys for that. I don't know. I've seen some really insane rosters. I don't think you understand. Like right now, Vanced, I'm not, like, I've been helping him with his account. So I've seen the inside of his account, and it is insane. No, we didn't. It was a great conversation about MTX and businesses and CG and EA and Disney and it was actually a very productive, very good conversation that I very much enjoyed having. Oh man, we're at the end of Conquest for the day. Let's see. I still have time before my wife gets up, so what I need to do is we need to filter out these mods so that I can have mods to sell with hot utils, and we can go back to the raid. I wish that this was an automated process. That would be really nice. I didn't have to keep going back and forth. One speed roll, low speed rolls. We're down to 405. Interesting. Okay, we got to go on to hot utils. Hot utils saving me money. For time, not money. you know what? And I would play it, Scribe, because I am a stickler. I am like a sucker for auto battlers. I haven't played a good one in a long time, but I used to get all about them because, you know, monkey brain, numbers go up. Numbers go up good. We love numbers go up. Which is sadly just how I live my life. I had a guy in my guild that had all R9 Jawas. And then he left me. He left me for another guild because he wanted to play TW. He was like, TW is so great. I need to find a guild that actually cares about it. So I've seen Relic. I've seen R9 Jawas. I had a guy in my guild who had R9 Geos. And I was supposed to be the R9 Gungan guy, but then they, for some reason, made Gungans important, which I didn't want. I didn't want them to be fun. The D&D one is, I know what you're talking about. Because I did not play it, but they made another one. D&D auto. Fuck, I want to find it now. Something of the Forgotten Realm, right? Champions of the Forgotten Realm. I did not play it, but I played their other game, Champions of the Lost Idol. Was their first auto battler, and that I did play. Yeah, 19 is nothing. 19 would have been literally no... he would be down 10 waves right now. So right now, Fat Phil is 1 wave behind me still. Right? Which means, we know, Allie, you're very well aware, he loses this battle. This Wampa fucking gets it. Whew. Okay. And I know he's sweating bullets now. He just found out last night that I R8'd my my DTMG. And he is not happy about it. When that battler came out, I was still super high into playing Champions of the Lost Idol. So I did not play the other one because I can only play one at a time. My brain, if I have to play 2 idlers at once, like my brain would not know how to function. My Oppo is only 5 stars because I don't have a Swoogadaddy. That is the one thing I'm missing as a creator, is a Swoogadaddy. No, you don't want to subscribe to Scribe. He's Welsh. Subscriptions. I'm the only one without a Swoogadaddy, and it's killing me. It really has been hurting me. I have plenty of whales that I help out. Plenty of people who come to me for advice that spend a shit ton of money on this game. But no Swoogadaddies. Yes. For every sub that Scribe gets, that's another sheep that he buys for his pen. I do. I have the memberships now through Buy Me a Beer. I don't use Patreon. I like Buy Me a Beer better because the fees are lower, and you can do one-off donations, not just membership donations. But I do have the memberships now that some people take full advantage of, and I spend a lot of my time talking to them every day. But still, I would like a Swugga Daddy. I just want one person who says, you know what? I want to spend all of my money on you, all of my hard-earned dollars. Oh, fuck. Nice. Got that even with charged. Very good. I'm not popular. Scribe, you're the popular one. You are the Gungees 2025 overall winner. Well, you know what's funny, Ben? It did start as a literal thing. When I was on Reddit only and I started doing like the stuff, it was, hey, support my alcoholism. And then I found the website Buy Me a Coffee, but you can reskin the whole website as Buy Me a Beer. So that has become our whole vibe. And because anytime I do a Tales video, right? Scribe and I had a nice one. I was drinking lots of whiskey that morning. I buy a new bottle of alcohol to drink with that person. So a lot of the money does go towards alcohol. I will tell you that watching the scores, you, Bit Dynasty, and Nooch were tied for 3 days. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do if there's a tie. And you won. It was either by 1 or 2 votes. It was kind of insane how close Jedi Master of Ceremonies was. All right, how many tries is it gonna take to do this? What's the best way to spend reward crystals? In general, as a general thing, weekday brunch. As a general thing, you're gonna want to use your crystals on refreshes, you know. But there's a greater conversation about my whole belief with farming is that you want to speed up the slowest thing in your farming plan, because that's the thing that becomes your limiting factor. So you want to make sure that the thing that's limiting you is the thing that you're speeding up. You did, Sanctus. You've gone to Egnard's heaven. Onlyeggs.com. Unclaimed Kessel rewards. No, you know my vibe, man. I'm here to help people. You know, some people tip, some people can, and I'm cool either way. You know, I appreciate the love that I get from people, and every dollar is appreciated when it's not Bill's money. When money gets sent from Bill's, then that's a problem. Yeah, I actually have to go back and check my video with Scribe, because I think we made a bet about the next raid, not this raid, but the raid after it. And I have to see what we had said, because I think there was an R9 on the line there, if I remember correctly. My water company still mails me bills. next one's a Saudi prince. A Nigerian prince. That sometimes is what it feels like. Ah, fuck, I don't know what I want to do here. Do I want... No. We are gonna risk that because we need to go into stealth. It's kind of annoying. Let's get you out of there. That was stupid. I just avoided doing that for the last time and then did it like a fucking idiot. No one said Egnards was smart. I don't have an R7 B2. Ali, we had this conversation last week, and again, you know, I'll tell you, it is definitely a lot more work than I originally expected it to be. A lot more work than I ever intended or expected it to be. 0 of 10. I would not recommend it to anybody. I thought I would just log onto a computer once a week, and people would be like, wow, you're so cool. And that's just not how it works. Oh my god, I hate charged waves. It's like Indiana Jones. Charged waves. Why is it always charged waves? This is a bust. Because there's no way I'm gonna be, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get past this next wave before... I only need to get to 7 waves. But there's no way I'm getting past this wave before it's over. And that is what I hate about this fucking raid. There is a gap in the market for Conquest girls. Sarah was great at it, and I'm very sad that she stepped away. I miss HNN. I miss listening to it. But, you know, we gotta do things for our family sometimes. You have Kate Gaming. I don't know if she does Conquest stuff, but I know she does Create Expectations still, and she normally gives Bones issues on Three Scoundrels. She likes to hop in and cause him issues. Well, the big thing with being, you know, like, Sarah was able to come up with the strategies to get the crates, and she would spend time thinking outside of just, like, the high-end account, which I think is what a lot of people gravitated towards with her, is that she was very helpful to them, not just to the most veteran of players. Whereas I do my guide, and my guide is generally very like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and you're welcome to copy it. And it works really, really well if you are already red crating, but you don't want to think. I don't know. As a creator, I've talked about this before. I just want to do interesting things. I can't do the the everything. I can't wake up and do everyday videos. I want to do things that are funny to me. You know, like we did the Dr. Seuss book. That was funny to me. And Moonborn did a great job with the graphics on the Dr. Seuss book. We have a sequel coming out that is a one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. That is based on Coruscant Underworld police officer. I'm excited for, but that's a little while away. I don't, you know, I think that for a very high-end account, the Padawan Omicron, it's not as much a time saver as people would be led to believe. I know for some people it is. I run a pretty I run a pretty efficient Conquest and don't feel like I need to speed it up anymore. I usually am at the bonus node by day 5. Allie, did you not see my Dr. Seuss book? It's called I Will Not R9 My JML. And it is probably my crowning achievement. It would save me brain power. That's the thing, Scribe. It would save me brain power, but those are some of the only videos that I do are my Conquest videos, so I need to do the brain power anyway. Oh man, hold on. I Will Not R9 My JML is my crowning achievement, and it is a Dr. Seuss. It is a love story to Dr. Seuss, and I do read it on stream. It is my favorite thing in the world, and we are doing a sequel. So make sure to save that and watch it, because to me, it is the funniest thing I've ever done. Nope. They really need to get rid of that shield. I hate that shield. It's just get rid of it. The raid is almost over. Just end it. The last time I had this raid, this stupid run, this 3-man, took me an hour and a half, and it was very fucking annoying. Can we make a book about Fat Phil streaming? Oh, come on. Why? Twice in a row? Fuck. I have been yawning in solidarity on every one of those silent streams that I've done during our wave battle. I know you've popped in on one or two of them. I don't know if you noticed those yawns, but they were specifically for him. There's just so much. Oh, I hate it. I hate this raid so much. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until the next one. Where's my cursor? There it is. Ben, I don't have a great answer for you because, you know, as much as I love Star Wars, I almost see this game in like ones and zeros. I don't have, like, other than Gungans, I've never had, like, all of my other farms are just like, okay, I'm doing this because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just like this rote action of do the farm, finish the thing. It doesn't matter how stupid the character is to me. If I had to say anyone, it would be Baby Cal Kestis because I just hate Cal Kestis as a character. And actually, I remember the first day that I was farming Baby Cal because I simmed 20 Cantina battles and I got one shard, and it pissed me off so much. I know, but I have to be a good example for my guild because I'm an officer for some stupid reason. I don't know why anyone trusted me to be an officer. I don't know why I said yes. Oh, fuck. See, I'm in a bind now because I know that I'm going to have to go through this entire process, and there's no way. So they're all going to have to get their turn, and they're all going to get their turn again. I hate this battle. I really do. They're all going to get a million turns. Like, come on. I hate this fucking 3-man. Hate this fucking 3-man. How likely will it be to be based off the Nightfill battle? I think if it's going to be based off of any era battle, it's probably going to be based off of the second era battle, right? Because we're intended to be playing the protagonists. And those are the Jedi. So I think it's probably fairly unlikely to be based off of Nightfall. I don't know what the second era battle is going to be called. I don't know if they have a name for it yet. I love my Gungan team for the raid. This is the only team that, like, I really so much hate doing. But I also don't want to invest any more relics into this raid at this point. That's annoying. I hate when that happens. Can I just fucking kill the guy? Like... This is annoying, because if this were Maul's turn, Maul would get out of stealth. Now none of these guys have the thing that I need them to have. That is very annoying. So now they are both gonna go into damage immunity. And now he's gonna keep going into damage immunity, and I'm gonna be trapped again. We're not gonna be able to break this cycle. Does this team work with Plo? I have not tried it with Plo. Does Plo make this work? Do you have a video on that? Okay, well this is not gonna fucking do it. I do have only eggs. I just recently changed only eggs to not be viewable anymore. It was never meant to be a permanent thing. It was only ever meant to be on there for a little while. Oh, well, I've already used my Plo this time, but I'll have to keep an eye out for it and look at fucking team more than anything else in this world. I'll have to look. I'll have to check later, because I've already used Plo this cycle, so it doesn't even, like, I can't even do anything with it right now, but he gets used in my extras team. We've got charged. I just think they need to, you know, like sometimes when games are about to like end, they're like, we're gonna make everything easy for you. Just do that. Make everything easy in this raid. Oh, yeah, my Lumi team I just did on auto, but I'm talking about like my like Beck, just Beck Cam. Who is it? It's Beck, Cam, Qui-Gon, Ayla, and Plo. They have not explicitly stated that it's going to be a 5v5 raid, but they have stated that the clones would be under Tarkin. And they specifically isolated a 3v3 clones for GAC. So I think the assumption that it's going to be a 5v5 raid is pretty founded. It is based in something. I do expect it to be a fives raid because of that. Okay, I got one of them. God. There we go. Hey, Marshall. We were talking about you, actually. We were talking about your affinity for Jawas earlier. You and your love for the Jawa team. They just get so many turns. It's so stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much. We were talking about somebody else, Ravage Kitty. Ravage Kitty, I think, has Relic Jawas, and I said there was a guy in my guild that had R9 Jawas, and and I was so yeah. We were talking about you. I don't know if I look like Chris Pratt. Maybe I have Chris Pratt energy, but I don't know. It's not something that I've ever considered. I've heard young Hugh Grant before. I don't personally see it, but I've heard it. Hate this fucking team. All my other raids are done. Just need this fucking team to be finished. Oh my God. You'd say an old Jim. Oh, it's you. Look, I will say that I believe that on an objective scale, I am more attractive than Phil, and that's all that matters. I think if all of the male content creators were at a bar together, if any one of them were to have a random girl come up to them and give them their number, I think it would be Scribe, because he has just that big bald head energy. But I'd like to think I'd be a close second. Yes, but you have that charisma. That big bald charisma. Oh my God, why? Why can't I just get it where I come into a round with advantage? I know this is not going to kill them, but we're just going to do it because... Oh, that worked more than I expected, actually. Oh, I have to reach out to Beaver today. Thank you for reminding me. I have things to talk to him about. As someone that won't R9 my JML, I generally just follow what .gg says, to be completely and perfectly candid. I would see if you can get a protection arrow that has a decent speed secondary, because basically all of his damage comes from his protection. Or I should say basically all of the damage of his team comes from his protection, really. Okay. I was able to take, yes, there was, can I say I'm super, oh my God, this is going to kill me. I am super proud of the community for not posting about, this is going to piss me off so much. Like, we're serious here. We let this happen. That pisses me off so much. For not telling Meathead or anybody about that bug until the next day. Fuck, I'm so mad. I was like, this is gonna be the run. This run feels like it's gonna do exactly what I need this run to do. And then we get what we just got. Oh, that pisses me off. Maybe we'll do enough here. I don't think so, though. Oh, that pisses me off so much. What does that get me to? Why can't you tell me what my score is? Why do I have to guess what my personal score is? Because that's not going to bring me over, right? I got 6 million plus 2 plus 1.2 million, 420,000 plus 1.8 million. Scribe is so much better than me. Ah, fuck. Discard and retry. Listen, if I had to listen to one of us, I'd listen to Scribe. I don't think he's smarter than me. I don't think I'm smarter than him. But he has a sweet-ass accent, and I don't have a sweet-ass accent. And he can also do voices. I've seen him do voices. And I've seen him, you give him a movie line, and he knows every movie, and then does the voice of that character. I don't do that shit. So if I had to watch anyone between the two of us, it would be him. It'll be more entertaining. Definitely more entertaining. Like, what do I bring to the table? I bring to the table singing. And not even good singing. Right? Every Sunday morning, those of you that listen to me are subjected to what is essentially Broadway singing. And I don't know how the hell you guys put up with it. Oh my God, I'm going to be throwing my head against the wall on this one all day. It's going to be all fucking day. I just cannot get it to work. Yes, that's all I have though. And it's my trait that if you were to ask my wife what is the most annoying thing about me, she would probably say, "Oh, it's the fact that you're literally singing all day every day." Here I am, I'm singing. Well, no, you are going to go into invulnerability, so that would be a waste. Get you out of that invulnerability. And let's get you bitches up there. I'm basically Elf Fire Marshal. I am when I get going, and normally I just take whatever tune is in my head, and then I start singing about my cats, and then my cats look at me like I'm weird, and then my wife looks at me like I'm weird, and then I stop. If this is not a charged wave, we have a chance. Not a high chance, but we have a chance. I used to do that at school. Ooh, shit. We are in business. Okay. Because all I need is this 7th wave. I very much embrace the weird, and I've often had to say to my wife, "You picked this. You knew what you were getting into. We lived together for 3 years before being married. You had plenty of opportunities to walk away, and you chose not to, and that is your mistake." Like, why is this fun? Just watching the bad guy hit you a million times. At least I get a perfect. I only needed 7 waves. Now this is going to be a problem, because I need to make sure not to kill these guys too fast. All right, good. Now we're good. We're good now. Okay. It's 8:30. I've done the shit I need to do. I've already done my TB for the day. I'll pop in at like 1. Yeah, but I only needed 7 waves, so I only care about getting to the 7th wave. I didn't care about getting the 8th wave. I'll pop in at 1 for another very boring silent stream, just because we want to document every single wave that we beat in TB to make sure that Fat Phil loses. Right now we are at completed waves for the leaderboard. Where is it? Completed waves. 74 out of 77, right? So we'll see what happens with these next couple of days. Thank you for keeping me company while I was driven insane. I think, is anyone on Twitch for us to raid into this early? Womprat? Ooh, we could raid Womprat. We haven't said it. Let's raid out to Womprat. I don't know how to do YouTube raids because I'm stupid, but for those of you that are on Twitch, we'll say hi to Womprat. Well,